Yeah, what's so funny? I can't wear them like this. This hard.
You can.
That's style, man.
What the fuck is happening right now?
What you mean? This how you pull? This how you wear it? I got a hat on. I don't want to take my hat off.
You know, you have this quality
I got
about
a hat
you
on.
that, like, you spend 2 minutes around you and you feel like you're fucking stoned, like, right away. You're like, did I smoke something?
That's
Yeah,
good.
It's like, why is everything weird right now?
Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
it's very like just absurdist reality all of a sudden every time.
Come on.
Yes, you're a silly man.
Hey, y'all like being silly as fun.
How you doing?
Good. How y'all been?
I've been pretty good. How was your eclipse?
I was taking the shit when it was happening.
As it was happening?
Yeah, like
So
I ain't.
your like butthole was getting eclipsed.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. It was weird because
Dude,
everybody was telling me.
your asshole was aligned with the celestial body.
But didn't it last like 10 to 30 minutes? So you were shitting the whole time?
Not the last 30 minutes.
No, it's
That
like
was for real?
It got
2
dark
minutes.
It got dark for like 2 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I slept through the whole thing. I didn't give a fuck.
That's so funny. Yeah, everybody else was telling me they was like, yeah, I was spitting things into the ether and I was saying things into the, and I was just like,
Yeah.
yeah, I was.
No, I didn't do
People
anything.
I
made
was taking the
wishes
shit.
and shit and prayed on it and shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, we just had an eclipse in 2017.
Yeah,
I know.
I don't get it. I don't,
Well, I think it's just, it's a fucking that primal shit. I think it's
It's
some
cool to
people
experience, I
when they
guess.
get hit with that, I think it makes them just become pagan for a second.
what
you
is
know?
it? What pagan mean?
Like old school religion, polytheism, like
Okay.
worshiping
it's like nature
Just
worship.
nature and shit.
nature and
Yeah.
throwing babies in a fire and
Yeah.
that kind of shit.
What if they was right?
They might be. I don't know.
Who knows?
I don't know if they're
For real.
right, but I think it was right for us. If
Yeah.
that makes sense. Like we had. Okay,
We needed
this
something
is,
to set up some rules.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
this
At
is
that
well,
point.
this is my theory. I figure, like how evolution works, right? And it's like your brain has evolved to be what it is.
Yeah,
We had like 500,000 years of throwing babies into the fire to try to make it rain and shit,
yeah.
And so,
And sometimes it probably did rain.
and it
immediately.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we're, dumb. So we're just like, it worked.
Yeah,
And let's do this again next year, right? So we did that for like 500,000 years. So that we have to have that in there somewhere
Yeah.
where like, even though you got your rational brain, that shit is still happening,
yeah.
Yeah,
Because
I mean that was the whole that South Park episode with Britney Spears
yes.
where she got her head blown off and then everybody was like trying to sacrifice her in the middle of a cornfield, like all the paparazzi were coming with cameras and shit. Tribute her, like taking pictures and shit.
Yeah.
She had like all of her head blown off, but she was still trying to talk and shit. And they just sacrificed Britney Spears
I mean,
to
I
some
vaguely
god and
remember
shit.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
South Park is just explain the South Park.
You just,
It's like-
all you have to do is say South
Yeah,
Park.
it's like, what the fuck? Cause I've seen the episode, but even trying to go back and like, that's what happened.
Yeah.
That's crazy. The South Park is fucking crazy.
Yeah,
But yeah.
it is probably the GOAT of comedy shows.
Oh yeah, most
Yeah,
I mean
still
they
going strong.
verify. Then they can do whatever they want.
Yeah,
Now. So,
yeah. The Cred episode, the new one with the they making fun of Prime,
yeah.
the energy drink
I
with
ain't see it.
Cred. Yeah, everybody. Do you have Cred? Do you have Cred? It's just an energy drink, and then like they have a literal like stampede of kids trying to get this because of like influencers and shit.
Bro, when Prime first came out, I worked at Publix, and it would be like I was stocking shares and shit, and people would get mad at me. Cause I was talking to Gatorade, and they'd be like, ain't no Prime, but it's gone. Like there's no
Yeah.
Prime here. We don't. It says that as soon as we get it, and they get pissed at me like I was drinking all the fucking Prime.
Yeah,
Yeah. Gene will get mad like he doesn't get mad, right? But he'll start talking to the stock person
Yeah.
and like he cares. And I have to remind him, I'm like, he doesn't give a shit.
Not at all.
It's like
People be
he
like,
just works here.
Can
He's
you
not
find this
interested.
in the back? Let me tell you something. I'm gonna go back there, look on my phone, and I'm gonna turn around and go, we didn't have it.
I know this. I've worked those jobs.
Yeah.
But he kind of
Yeah.
has it,
Yeah.
So I'm just like, they don't give a fuck.
Not at
you know?
all.
So yeah, I gotta, because it's not like when people do that, no, sometimes they're cunts, but it's sometimes they just think you would also be interested
Yeah.
or also outraged.
It's
So
like-
it's not like they're trying to like be like this. It's more like they're trying to like, right?
It's like I don't even.
Yeah, you don't even, it's like you don't even give that much of a
Yeah,
fuck.
I just put this shit up and they give me money for
Yeah.
it.
I
I don't want to be here.
know. It's like come on, Gene. All right. Yeah. Oh, we got to do an intro. Hello.
Hey, everybody.
What's up? Welcome. Yeah.
welcome to
that's
the
your
Turtle
camera.
Reads podcast.
I
I'm
can't
yeah,
look
Clay.
that way.
Yeah. I'm like, wait, what the fuck?
but like, I wanna
we got a
look
couple
at
cameras. Bam. I'm Clay. This is the Turtle Reads with Melissa,
Hello,
like always, and then we got a great guest today, Cam Patterson.
Cam Patterson.
Bam, came
Yes.
on the podcast.
Cam Patterson.
Thank y'all for having me.
No problem.
I knew you could read. That's
I'm a
why I
great
was like,
reader.
we got to have him on this
Dude,
podcast. Because I was like,
everybody, I said-
everybody thinks this kid is like,
Yeah.
illiterate or some shit.
I'm a
And I'm
great
like,
reader.
no, you're not.
Literally every time I would tell people, oh, we're gonna have Cam on the podcast, everybody literally said, oh, he can read, he can't read. Like say that
I'm a
shit.
great reader.
I'm like, no, it's just it makes sense a lot with the book that you chose.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure you fucked a hoe with roaches in her crib.
I did. I didn't even read the book, but I know what's going on. I didn't read it.
I'm like, he probably connects with this book on multiple levels.
I didn't read
Yeah.
it, but I'm happy to be here.
Well, no, I heard you read passages of it on Good Evening News.
Yes.
Yeah.
You didn't
Yeah.
read the whole thing?
Not the whole thing. Did y'all read the whole thing?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Well,
yeah,
I-
that's kind of the podcast we
Tell
got.
me about it. Tell me
I
about
mean,
it.
it's basically all right.
'Cause-
It's
So-
like Tyler Perry,
Okay.
Yeah.
but
like-
instead of Medea, it's Frequisha.
Okay, Fred
The
Quisha.
bitch's name is Fred Quisha.
Fred Quisha's a crazy name.
Yeah,
It is a crazy
It
name.
is insane.
And she's supposed to be the villain, but the whole time I'm like, you name her Fred Quisha. I mean, you didn't love this person
At all.
you know?
Nobody loved Fred Quisha.
yeah, no. Like,
So I ended up kind of being,
and then her
I'm not
nickname
like-
is Moo Moo.
yeah,
They call her Mumu. Where's she from?
Chicago.
Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but she's like a shithead.
Yeah.
She beats her daughter.
Oh.
She's an asshole,
Oh.
right?
Yeah.
It's not like she's
But, like,
sympathetic,
But
but everybody's an asshole
treats-
in this thing.
Yeah.
Not
For
everybody.
real?
Austin's pretty good.
Everybody.
Austin's pretty good.
Us is a dumbass.
But so Frequisha, she has two sons that she treats really good.
Yeah.
Like feeds them all the time. But Frequisha is literally just a paycheck for her. So she just beats the shit out of her, like has her living in a closet and shit. And yeah, it's that she is like the main villain, but then there's like you meet her mom, the
Yeah.
grandmother Evelyn.
Yeah.
She's like another level of villain where
Yeah,
she's
this
like
clearly came from her.
yeah,
This
Yeah.
bitch
she's
abusing
like
her.
trying to get her daughter's daughter so that she could get a check for it and fuck my own daughter. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
it just goes. It's like everybody taking advantage of Section 8, and like whatever benefits they can get from the government, so that they could either get something dumb, right, like dick.
Oh, this book was deep.
Yeah. Oh, I cried.
Well, it ended up being like a morality play. It's literally like Tyler. Have you watched a Tyler Perry movie?
Yeah.
So you know how
growing up.
they'll always do the thing where it's like, oh, everybody, like, look at all these pieces of shit, but as long as you're God fearing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it'll work out
Yeah.
in the end, right? And so it was basically that. And
Damn.
yeah. I
Yeah.
teared up at one point. It was
What was part you teared up at? What got you teared up?
it was whenever the little girl, like, she was like gonna have to go back to her mom's place, and then the grandmother on the dad's side, she was like, no, fuck this, and then just like didn't bring her back for custody and shit. And then the police came and she had to go back, and I was like, fuck. She's like being pulled back and forth, and she doesn't know where the fuck she's gonna, like, yeah, it got to me.
Yeah, that shit.
yeah. Well, and then at first, so Fred Quisha and the Roaches are kind of comedy at first.
Oh, yeah.
Right? The way they describe Fred Quisha is insane.
How do they describe what she look
It's like bad. It's like it's just crusty ass lips, crusty ass elbows, ashy elbows, like purple lips. She sucks. Like she
At one point, she was hot.
dusty. When she was younger,
You-
but
like-
like she got dusty cornrows. And she spends all the money that's supposed to go to child support on, doing everything, her nails and her hair and all that shit,
Yeah.
right? So that she can go get like a baller. Like that's what she's trying to get. She's trying to go to the club so she can get like a rich guy and
Yeah.
just kind of get her claws in him and get him, right?
Yeah.
But she just ends up fucking, like dope boys and shit in Chicago. And
Yeah.
that's kind of what happens. So she gets like tag team at one point with
Oh.
two guys
Yeah.
in exchange for some dope
Weed
Damn.
and
and
ecstasy.
and ecstasy pills and shit, right? And then she goes out with her girls to the club, right? So
Damn.
she's like,
She out there.
she's a hoe.
She
Yeah,
out there.
she's just a hoe
She's
chick.
a hoe.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the there was like a side story that it would cut to every now and then, Katina and Deontay.
Yes.
Oh,
That
that-
was weird. It was
You
like
know?
a side story about a chick who was like, she had a daughter and son with a dude who was like just a bum playing video games and cheating on her, and then she comes in to her house while he's cheating on her, like with
Yeah.
a girl in her bed, and then they pull guns on each other while he's in bed. That was actually pretty fucking
Hey,
hilarious.
this nigga Quan Mills write good books, man.
yeah,
This shit sound amazing.
Yeah, but it's all a front for like, getting you down with the Nation of Islam.
For real?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that came in heavy.
It's
Whenever Austin, the baby daddy
This
of
is such a hood book.
Fred
I know
Queech's
these
baby
books.
daddy was in prison. He got into the Nation of Islam, and one of his brothers got stabbed. So he just stabbed the dude back, who was a corrupt corrections officer.
Yo, this book's so fucking deep, man.
Should have read it.
You should have read
Yeah, I
it.
should have fucking read it. No, okay, listen, this is what we're gonna do, okay?
There's an audio book too, you know.
I know. Well,
can listen
listen,
to
let me tell you. So, I want to do the podcast again the right way. I definitely want to do it again. Cause I got so much shit going on.
I know.
Oh
And
yeah, we know.
reading the book
I'd be
is
surprised
like,
if you.
huh?
Yeah, I was surprised that you could read it.
Yeah, I was like,
So you
but
couldn't.
I mean, I ain't had time to yet. But next
I get
time, I will. We're gonna pick a different Quan Mills book.
All right,
Now, we'll
there's a
read
whole
the book.
series.
That was such
Yeah.
a good one though. That would have been good.
yeah.
But we
Yeah.
could just tell you about
But no,
it.
please keep telling me about it.
Yeah,
Because it's
okay.
fucking interesting. Like, it's like, cause like,
Yeah.
I pick out like, it's funny that this bitch got roaches in her crib. Y'all like, nah.
I was wondering.
that's
I was
it.
like, did you go on Amazon and just browse for hoes, like a book with
just the
hoes?
word hoe.
That's what I figured. I was like, he just looked for hoes,
Nah, but
or
I mean, he
something
got-
like that.
He got so many other books that are like just
Yeah,
crazy
yeah.
shit.
Yeah, one about
But here's the thing: he's doing it on purpose, though,
Okay, well, talk to me.
like a satire. So he's basically just making these black characters look just ultra stereotypical.
Yeah.
At least the bigger, larger than life ones like Fred Queesha and shit like
Mm.
that, right? And then you have the sort of more normal people that just go to church and
In the
eat
book.
food, and just have a family
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But yeah, and he's actually supposedly trying to make fun of, those books that you would see that. Oh, I mean, I don't know if they have that in Orlando.
I know you're talking about.
But
the,
they just like the tables and the street, and they'll just have those books that are basically for black people. You know what I mean?
it's some old books that would go through like my schools and
Yeah.
shit. I forget what they were called, but it's just fuck. It was a whole series. It was more.
It was a whole
tailored to, like,
genre.
teenagers.
There were
Yeah.
a lot of them. Yeah.
But it's shit like that, like finding a gun and shit, like all this other shit.
Did you pretty much exclusively grew up in Orlando?
Yeah.
Did you ever go to Chicago or anything like that?
Uh-uh.
So you never. How much like an inner city is Orlando? Because I don't know.
It's
It,
like-
it seems like it's kind of.
It's not like I wouldn't say inner city. They got a hood though. They got a hood, but what do you mean like by inner city? What
But
does
there's
inner
some
city mean?
houses and stuff, right? Like you're in houses.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's like
okay.
it's not like buildings. It's more like houses and shit like that.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, they're
Because this reminded me of my childhood a little
Yeah,
bit.
where you from?
From the Bronx.
Okay, yeah.
So Chicago and the Bronx seem to be a little similar.
Yeah, cause
Chicago's way worse, it seems. But the
Yeah.
Bronx was like that, like in the 70s.
yeah,
You know what I mean? When they were literally like, they would just burn, like the landlords to get the people out of the buildings, they would just burn the whole block down. And then, everybody would have to leave. And then they collect the insurance. And then, just rebuild.
that's
It was called it was called like the time when the Bronx was burning. You could Google it.
that's insane.
That's how it is.
Yeah, inner city is crazy. Yeah, Florida's more like houses, like housing projects, shit like that. But like they're not like built up like to the sky. It's more like
Yeah.
just like out. You know what I'm saying?
I think
Like-
it's better for your brain.
Like apartment complexes.
Do you go to
like-
the beach and stuff a lot?
Oh, no, Orlando like in the middle. It's like landlocked. So I would go to Daytona a little bit, but I wouldn't always be at the beach.
Hmm.
Beach wasn't like a big part of my life.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. But what about, how many, are there a lot of Dominicans there? Puerto Ricans and
Yeah,
shit?
at Kissimmee, yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit out of the way. Kissimmee like 30 minutes from the city. So yeah, we got Dominicans and shit like that.
Is there a lot of intermingling?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's
Yeah.
not like you can't drive there
What you mean?
or like you can't go there. Like it's easy to get to, right?
Yeah, I mean, but when I was a kid, the crazy thing is when I was a kid, I didn't know UCF is on the east side of Orlando. And I didn't know UCF was in Orlando because I'm out from the west side. So west side like 30 minutes. I mean, the east side like 30 minutes away.
Okay.
So I thought UCF was like out of town.
Okay.
But yeah.
Hmm.
But the east side more like Dominican and Spanish and shit like that.
All right. That's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a lot of roaches in the Bronx, by the way. Let's
Nah,
go put that out there.
I
it was
mean-
roaches. It was roaches. When I stayed with my cousin, like, last place I stayed in Orlando with my cousin, man, we had roaches out the wazoo.
Fucking sucks.
Like roaches, and these roaches don't just die. Y'all know that?
Yeah, I know.
No.
Roaches don't give a fuck
You gotta
about.
burn them.
No, you
you-
can't
Well,
burn
they're
them.
not vampires.
No. I'm saying
You
like
have to burn 'em.
so how their body, the organs and shit are all like gelatinous, have a gelatinous case around
Well, yeah, they
it.
have an
So if you try to
exoskeleton.
squish them,
No.
it'll just squeeze. And unless you either like break off the head or you throw them, like we would throw any roaches we find in the fireplace.
You could just smash them.
Yeah, but no, if you just try to smash
He's
them,
acting
there's
like
a
they're
chance.
vampires. You gotta cut their head off. You gotta stake them in the heart. You gotta throw them in the fire.
If you just try to smash them, then there's a chance they could still live because their organs are squishy. It will bounce
but when they
back.
splat, they're dead.
At my cousin's part, we had like it was an oven. We had an oven, and you would open the oven, and the oven just had this. I mean, they were going crazy.
I know
my
that
cousin
smell.
be like, he was like, just cut the oven on, they'll die.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I fucking
It's terrible.
Roaches are. I fucking hate
They're
roaches.
horrible.
I grew up a little different than both of y'all. Y'all both grew up in the
You grew up
I
in a
grew up
fucking farm.
I grew up with like more cows than people. And so like I would go and like sleep in like a barn loft and there would be like cockroaches, but also we had chickens. So like the chickens would go and eat the cockroaches and shit.
Yeah.
But I would still like, even for a person who lives around all the kinds of animals and all this kind of shit, cockroaches is still one of the things. It's like, what do y'all do? Like they don't really eat anything. They just kind of carry diseases. They fucking it's kind of just
they carry
nasty
diseases because they eat garbage.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's like
But
they
they're
don't
good for
have
that.
any other thing in the habitat, in like the ecosystem. They don't have another purpose. You know, it's
That's okay.
just diseases.
Somebody got to eat them.
Somebody ate disease.
It's them.
Yeah,
I feel bad for them because they're so gross. It's not their fault.
Fucking the most disgusting shit on
They're
earth.
so bad.
I fucking hate roaches, dog.
What's your worst? Okay, what's been your both of you? What's been your worst experience with roaches? I guess you go first.
We had at one point at my one of my family's houses. I'm not gonna say which because it makes it seem bad. There was some roaches in the toilet. Whenever I sat down to take a shit. And like, yeah, I felt them like on my butt and shit.
What?
Nah.
Dude, for a chick, that's like the most terrifying, because you got this fucking gash between your legs. You're always worried about shit getting up there. You're always like,
oh, that was my first thing. I immediately stood up, cut my balls, and just started fucking like hit my ass trying to get that shit off. I'm like, you're not getting on my dick and balls. Fuck that.
Oh, God. Bro, you got me beat, dog.
Yeah.
A roast touched your ass, bro. You can't beat that. That's not how you can't. I can't go where a roast got. No, a roast touched your ass. A roast violated you, man.
Yo,
that's
It's
insane.
like, ew. How old were you?
That was probably like 12.
You're 12. It molested you. A pedophile roach
touched you.
Touched your
A
butthole.
roach touched you.
Ew, he was like a perv.
That's one of the
He's like
things
a little
about
Michael
the book.
Jackson roach.
Like in the book, it'll switch perspective. Like the first page of the book is like Fred Quisha going, "Fuck all these roaches in my house and shit," and then it switches perspective to what they call Sir Daddy Roach, and it's like the dad roach who's like walking around with all his baby roaches, and it's like the Sir Daddy Roach brings around his kids trying to find the stale pizza that they can smell with their antennas, and they see it from far away from the room, and it's like from the perspective of the roaches for like a good portion. That part's hilarious. Every time they switch to the roaches' perspective.
That's
it's just like you ever see Joe's Apartment? No? Joe's Apartment's basically that, but the roaches talk and just live with the guy.
Is that
that sounds familiar.
You've probably seen it.
The Freddy Got Finger guy?
No, it's not Tom Green.
Oh,
but it's like that vibe.
Yeah.
So you might have maybe confused it, but yeah, that's basically.
Yeah.
Joe's Apartment is just this guy, and these roaches beat his ass in exchange for not fucking with them, and they talk. But it's a lot like that, where the roaches are.
Yeah.
They're like using martini glasses as jacuzzis and things like that.
I remember a movie like that where they had like a whole like dance scene with roaches, like a musical number with roaches and shit.
That's so
Probably
fucking
that
funny. Roaches are like roaches. I mean, okay, the worst story I ever had with a roach. I was with this girl. It's actually one of my first deals I did on Keltona. I was with this girl, and I was really, this is real shit. I was killing roaches while we was hanging out. I was just hanging out, just killing roaches and shit. And
You're such a gentleman.
yeah, cause I didn't want to see him.
You're so nice.
So I was murdering roaches, and she was like it's cool, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I can see the roaches. Like you might as well just name them, cause I can see all the roaches.
Yeah.
Like you can't kill all the fucking like they were ever. It's roaches are assholes, dog.
They're fucking
They know when you got company too.
Yeah.
They know.
Yeah.
It's like, it's more people in here. I'm finna come out and show my ass.
Did she notice?
She seen all the roaches.
Yeah.
She seen all those. We still fought, so that's on her.
Yeah.
You feel me? But,
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
But you know,
She's like a frequisha sort of.
she was like, fuck
in
it, who
training.
cares? She was cool as hell, man.
Well,
I was really excited about that. I was like, hey man, at least
Oh yeah, they had a part whenever she got ran the train on in the book. there's some roaches in the corner of the room just watching her get fucked and shit.
Yeah, the roaches are just like,
That's so funny.
it like cuts to them like a family of roaches watches from afar as she gets railed down, and a couple of them just wander off because they seen this bitch get thrown up too many times.
That's crazy.
it's really graphic.
It's
They talk about it. They
they go into
They go into- he
deep
goes into
detail.
detail.
They call her
Mhm.
pussy like a gooey canal at
Yeah.
one point.
That's good though, right?
No, yeah,
Oh.
but it's just very extremely pornographic.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's just funny that it just all of a sudden I'm like, all right, I'm just reading a porno right now.
Yeah,
That's so funny.
he's very descriptive whenever it comes to like the sexual shit, or even just
She
like,
fucked a lot in the book.
oh yeah,
Yeah, she
Yeah.
fucked up a fair amount. Yeah,
yeah.
and then
At
she started
one
fucking
point-
her landlord.
Yeah, at one point the landlord she has to try to get her place clean because Child Protective Services go be coming by, and
Yeah.
so she's like calling the landlord, and then she had just got in a fight with her 2 sons, so the police were called, so the landlord came anyway. Her 2 sons just beat the shit out of her, and so she starts fucking him to get him to help her with Child Protective Services and get like a Mexican cleaning crew to come in, and they got it all clean and shit. But yeah, she just started allowing him to fuck her, basically.
Yeah, but he's a dick. He's an asshole.
Yeah,
He
he's
was
a-
an asshole. What
Yeah.
was he? What race was he?
Black.
Oh yeah,
I think so.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. And there's a scene. He like going to the Dominican Republic to get hookers over there
Yeah.
because DR is kind of known for that.
Yeah.
And then he just couldn't go for a while, so he was just I guess looking for pussy, and then whatever.
Did anybody die in the book?
Everybody died. Almost. I mean, a
Huh?
lot of people almost died. Almost everybody almost died. And then, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 people actually died.
Yeah.
Who the main people that died in the book?
Mia,
Who's
the
Mia?
the
Explain
little
Mia.
girl.
Oh, so the little girl
Oh,
turns out,
shit.
so, she's living with these roaches. And at first it's comedy, right? It's like, oh, these roaches, look at them, they're funny. But then towards the end, that one of them bites her in the face, right? And then she gets meningitis. Which
Roaches can bite you?
roaches can bite you.
Yeah.
One of my friends, actually, when I was a kid, she got bit by a roach. And it's gross. She got bit in the face. Right there.
And yeah, they carry
Yeah.
a shit ton of diseases.
You
I
get-
didn't know they could bite you.
They could bite. Well,
Yeah.
it's not like they don't have like mouths like us. It's not like they're going, "Ah, ah, 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 ah."
Little
but
mandible
they have,
things.
they have this shit.
Yeah.
And also the way they eat is that they spit on things, this goo that melts it so that they can ingest it. So it's basically like they're really just kind of dissolving parts of your skin.
But I didn't. I didn't know they could fucking bite
Yeah, they can
you.
bite. Well, that's
Well,
why.
they have to be able to.
Yeah.
Every animal is able
I know
to
that,
bite.
but it was like,
But
yo.
so yeah, it's
Well-
basically they just decide all the time to not try to eat us because they know they can't fully eat us. But if they feel like it, they could just come up and be like, I'm gonna try.
yeah, and it
I'm
happens
gonna
once in a
spit
while.
up on you and then just
Yeah.
walk away because they can't eat you.
Yeah. Well, so that's the thing about roaches is that people don't realize because it doesn't happen that often is that we know they carry diseases, but the diseases they carry are bad. Like it's meningitis, basically just mass brain damage. You're dead, right? It can give you polio, and polio is like that's like a fucking medieval disease that people don't even get anymore unless they don't get vaccinated, right? And polio's the one where it like withers your limbs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's roaches are really bad, but
Yeah,
we
I just-
kind
I
of
would just
forget.
kill
Oh,
them 'cause I
and
just didn't like how they looked and
you
they was
can,
around.
you can get the plague from some of
I
them.
didn't fucking know they could bite you, dog.
Yeah, they can bite you.
What
they're-
the fuck?
they're
They
really,
they
really bad.
They was in my bed sometimes.
I don't know why they don't tell people that more.
Yeah.
I think if they told people that more, people would freak out enough to get rid of them.
Well, that's
Because
but
that's
mean,
what
but they-
makes people
They
not.
hard to get rid of though, cause even like when me and my cousin were doing that shit to get rid of them, they would just go to the
That's the shit.
place next door.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
saying?
it's
And
not
then
about
come
being
back.
clean. It's like they're just fucking there.
They're around. Like
It's
if you the
them.
only way to kill a roach, like a roach is like a mass cardiac roach, you got to tear down buildings.
Yeah.
yeah.
You got to burn buildings. You
Yeah.
can't clean real good.
Yeah,
they gonna
yeah.
come
They're
back.
just there.
They're in the walls, they're in the floors,
They was
they're in
everywhere.
Yeah.
They get into shit, and then they just like they proliferate real fucking
Yeah.
quick.
Man, I had like this little dusting thing I put around my whole room. This little, and it be crazy because it's supposed to kill the roaches.
Yeah.
But I see roaches with like white dust on them, just chilling.
Yeah, acting like it's cocaine.
Yeah, it's
They're
like,
just
yeah, nigga, you gave me drugs, nigga. I've been straight,
Yeah.
dog.
It's the
Now I'm
Scarface
just-
of roaches.
Now I'm just high as hell.
Yeah.
Now I'm
He's
gonna bite your
collected-
ass even harder.
He's collected all the powder into one corner. He's the Scarface of roaches at
You
this
have
point.
no idea. They all want the powder from me, but they can't get no powder from me. Like, who the fuck are? Why are you growing in size? Yeah, man. Roaches was out. But okay, so she died.
Yeah,
She got
the little girl. She passed away from the meningitis.
How did Fred Creature feel about it? How did Fred Creature?
Oh, well, then she finally, at that moment, felt remorse. Finally, a little bit. But it was kind of like too little, too late. And I don't think the author felt like giving her a comeback story.
Yeah.
So it kind of, she felt bad. It started to change her a little, but she was kind of already fucked and stuck with this other guy too, Deontay, who had some psycho ex-girlfriend who killed his baby mama, right? She assassinated his baby mama to try to get him back.
Federico?
No. This other guy, that
That
guy
side
named
story
Deontay, who
I was telling you about, where they held the guns on each other.
Yeah.
So the baby mama he cheated on, she got killed by his new girl who was crazy and assassinated the baby mama.
Right. So then he needed a place to stay. He had already dicked her down like in chapter 1. So he asked Fred Creature to let him crash there, right? But the thing is, the chick that his ex-girlfriend tried to pop, her family's connected with like some real gangster guys, right? So her mom was like calling her cousin basically and was like, yeah, you take care of this or whatever. And so then they just sent 2 guys to just kill that guy. And Fred Creature was there, like a witness. So they popped her too, and that was it.
She died?
And she died.
Yeah.
It's
so they both died?
fucked up. Yeah.
Yeah, like she said, a bunch of people just died. Like at the end, pretty much they're just like, all right, we're going to wrap this all up in a bow. A bunch of the bad people are going to die. And it's all gang related and like fuck shit related.
Any good happy endings? Any?
Because of the whole thing that happened with the family, the shitty side of the family. Whenever Mia died, the state awarded Austin, the dude who got out of prison, the decent father, awarded him $10 million from the state.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah,
that's dope as shit.
Yeah, so he got millions of dollars, and he got some chick pregnant that he fell in love with, so that pregnancy, I think, is supposed to offset all the death.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. Yeah. No, for sure. It
doesn't at all.
So, they do that whole thing at the end where
a 6 to 8 year old girl, like that. Yeah, Mia. She was like 6 years old. Yeah, it definitely doesn't offset her death. I was like, oh, that's kind of a cheap cop out.
Yeah, that's just sad.
They just do a little scene where he pats her belly. It's like she's pregnant, so the end.
We good.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It's great now. So
that's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, next time I'm gonna read the book. I want to do it. I'm gonna do this.
Well, I mean, if you have time, you seem pretty busy. So
this is
hard
actually,
to read.
I'm telling y'all some real shit. This is great. I like this whole thing. Every time y'all talk about it, I was like, fuck, I should have read the goddamn book. Fuck. But it's just so much shit. But this is amazing. Y'all, this is some brilliant shit y'all doing.
Well, the thing is, we were thinking about maybe doing it to where we invite a guest who did read the book.
Yeah.
And then we have somebody who didn't read the book.
Yeah.
Because that'll make us describe the plot better. Because usually it's like everybody read it, you're good. So then we just start talking shit.
Yeah.
And we always want to get around to actually. So this is kind of the first time we did that. So it's kind of good. I've been meaning to have somebody who
next time
didn't know.
I will do this again next time. I'm not saying we've done that.
You should just never read the book and just come, and then we just talk at you like a bunch of 5-year-olds. You know what I mean? Because this is you're basically like a dad, and we're just like, and then
Man, this is cool as shit.
Her name's Fred Quisha, and she's a hoe, and she's a really dirty hoe. She has roaches in her pussy, and you're like, and then what? It's like
that's funny as shit. That shit is dope.
All right. Well, yeah. Have you ever read books like that though?
It was the Bluford series. That's what it's called.
Series.
Bluford High.
What's that?
I read this in middle school. Not even. It's kind of like the same thing, but for people
for high schoolers.
Yeah, for kids.
Okay.
And it was just like so and so found a gun and he got his first gun. And now he finna go. So shit like that.
Like that's PSA episodes from like old TV shows and shit.
Then he found out like he shouldn't do because he got beat up and he went and bought a gun and then he was like, oh, I shouldn't kill this person because blah blah blah. And then you go, oh wow, that's so dope. And then you go outside and it's like, well, my homeboy just killed somebody, so never mind.
Right. Nice.
It's like, oh, never mind. Yeah, this book don't mean shit. Fuck this book.
What did you read a lot in high school, or just like a fair amount, and then you just did other shit?
I read what it made me read, and I just kind of got out of the high school. I I was very bad at school until it came to basketball season. And then I got my grades up to play basketball. And then when basketball season ended, it was just like, I don't want to be a, you know what I'm saying?
I was very good at, reading was my basketball.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was bad at everything else.
But you just love,
very good reading comprehension.
When I was a kid, reading was hard. Reading was hard when I was a kid.
It was like a way to escape for me.
For real?
Yeah, I'm one of those kids.
Yeah.
That's cool though.
I was a big English guy, read all of Shakespeare at one point. And
that's dope.
No. I was that kid who was like, I was kind of emo-ish, and then I started writing poems, and then I was trying to get girls with poems that I was writing with using words like shit like thou and shit like that, and I was never gonna get anything with that.
But reading is good.
Reading's good.
Reading is great.
Nah, no, it's not.
It is though.
No, it's not.
I wish like
reading it's just a tool. If you read good shit, that's great. If you read shitty, stupid shit, that's not great. And also, if you're reading to where you're not living your life, that's not great. Doesn't matter what the fuck you're reading.
Yeah.
It's better to listen. It's better to live your life than to read. You never missed any. If you lived your life, like if you're living your life, you're not missing anything because the only thing that's in the books is what you're living.
But I think reading helps better on more on stage because your mind keep moving. You get different words. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's pretty much with anything doing like going from because you can't do same thing with like I'm a big gamer. Shit, you get stuck on one point in a video game. You just go and do go read a book, go watch a TV series, go fucking just go jogging or something. Doing any kind of other activity than the one thing you do all the time gets you just on a different mindset to do that main thing better.
Yeah, most definitely.
So, I mean, yeah, for somebody who doesn't normally reading for sure is a good way to like get on that different mindset.
You know what?
If you do read, like she's saying, if you are just constantly reading, you can just fucking forget about all the other shit and ruin your life and shit, just like with anything else.
Yeah. I didn't tell my worst roach story, actually.
Oh, yeah.
So I woke up with a roach in my ear.
Oh, yeah, you told me about that.
Why these roaches keep touching y'all?
Well, in my case,
me. They never touched me.
Well, in my case, I lived on the first floor in this building in Washington Heights in New York, right? I grew up there. It was my grandma's apartment, and then my mom moved into it after my grandma passed away, right? And we also lived with her there for a while. But the super did not clean anything, and the basement would just, all this garbage would collect. And so since we were right there on the first floor, the basement was right there. All the roaches would like come into our place. And it was so bad that, it was really bad. And I even went through that one time when I brought a guy home and there were just roaches everywhere. And I was just kind of like, he kept calling them bugs, which...
it's nice.
Yeah, but it bothered me because I was like, this is a fucking roach, right?
That's nice,
Why are you trying to be nice? No, it's
you got little bugs in your house. It makes it sound better.
Bugs. Yeah, they're not ladybugs.
Yeah, it makes it sound better than roaches.
Yeah.
Roaches sound like, you got roaches.
Yeah.
That
roaches
shit sound evil.
Because I think they remind people of like little nightmares, on legs. So I went to sleep and I woke up with a roach in my ear. And that's what happened. And I knew when I woke up exactly what it was, because it moved. Like, I don't know what was, like I was dreaming. I was completely out of it. And then something happened like in my brain where a white light just went, pew, and it was like, I woke up immediately. It's like my brain was like, wake the fuck up,
Yeah.
And then that's when the minute I did, I could feel like squirming around in my ear canal. And I was like, there's a fucking roach in my ear. And I was like, and I'm like crying and shit. And then I told my mom, and then we just did a whole thing. She poured like hydrogen peroxide in my ear until we basically like drowned it out.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of like fell on the floor.
Yeah.
It was still alive too. It was the worst fucking thing I think that's ever happened to me.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Yeah. That was the worst thing ever.
I fucking hate roaches, though.
Yeah.
Roaches, like the girl I was fucking with, she called me Roach for a little minute. She would just call me that as like a joke outside. I was like, don't you fucking call me Roach.
Why'd she do that?
That's not cool. You still fuck me.
That's true. Yeah, so what does that say about her?
Yeah.
The roach fucker?
I
That's kind of sadistic. What was she trying to do to you?
Yeah.
Was she like a jerk?
No, she was pretty cool.
Probably just a little bit of like negging.
Yeah, just
little,
negging.
little negging.
Because she also like,
Nah,
I don't have roaches before. Like she got it. She understood. But it
Yeah,
was
but
also
calling you a
like,
roach?
it's kind of like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
Also, I think it's kind of weird that we call like the end of a joint a roach. Like, I don't want to ever be smoking a roach.
Yeah, I mean,
Kind of looks like one.
it do look like a roach.
Kind of, but also,
When you look back on slang, it's like, well, that was just there. That was just an easy thing. But you got a roach. That's just an easy way
That's
to
just your
call it.
imagination.
Yeah. And what's our favorite books? What would y'all recommend to people?
Books
Yeah,
to
like,
recommend?
Yeah, recommend.
Well, it depends on who we're recommending to.
Recommend me a book, a good book.
I mean, it depends on like what you want
Yeah.
and what you're into.
One
And like,
book I read, I like inspirational books. I like books about how to get money. I like books like that. Those are what
ICP biography.
Huh?
Real.
yeah, you know what? Yeah. That's a good one.
What is it?
The IC, you know,
The
the group,
Insane Clown Posse.
Insane Clown Posse, that rap group that paints
I
their
know
face
you
like
talking
crap.
about- yeah.
Violent J did a autobiography, and it's called ICP Behind the Paint.
Mhm.
And it's probably one of the best inspirational books I've ever read. And I don't like reading self-help books, and I don't like reading inspirational books because I kind of think it's a little corny
Yeah.
for me, right? So when I read it, I was surprised how into it I was, and I got into it immediately. It's such a great book. This guy's childhood was fucking insane.
It was wild.
He went through loads of shit that I don't even want to fuck it up for you, but it's probably one of the best books I've ever read. Like, no lie.
That's hard.
And it surprised me because, I don't like ICP as, like I never,
Listen to the music.
I didn't listen to the music. I didn't know anything about them. Right. So
I did.
yeah, he didn't. Clay
I
was
was a juggalo in high
juggalo.
school.
So he
Oh, that's
knew
hard.
already. Yeah. You kind of knew what was coming, but I didn't.
Yeah, I knew it was gonna be a wild story, but like it was to the point we were reading it, and we came into the podcast studio to do a different book, and we're just sitting here, and she's like, "What do you think about?" And I'm like, "I think we need to promote better." And she's like, "Because of the ICP book," and I'm like, "Yeah," because like they would go whenever they were building up their group and shit, their rap group. They would go to Kinko's. They would have one of their 3 people at Kinko's at all time doing copies of flyers, and then they would rotate someone out to be at Kinko's, and then they would go flyer to the point where they started fucking fat bitches at Kinko's to get deals on copies. And like I'm like, what are we doing? We ain't doing shit to promote compared to these dudes.
Well, the reason why I asked him when I saw him all upset is because, my husband Gene also was reading the book at the same time, and he
shit.
also loved it and was into it. And I'm reading it, right? And so I noticed that I was like, he's in a bad mood. He's in a bad mood. I'm in a bad mood. What do we have in common? We're reading this fucking book. And that book is so, it lights a fire up your ass so good that it makes you immediately go like, what the fuck am I doing with my life?
Better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to do
So-
something way better.
It's a really good book.
Especially
Oh,
for creative people like comics and
Yeah,
anybody like it's like, oh, you got to promote. You got
Gotta
to
put like
fucking
that.
do shit.
Kevin Hart book was a big.
Okay.
That was a big one.
I
for
bet
me.
that would be a good one,
Yeah.
yeah. Because he just is motivated.
The one with
So-
the dogs. The one I forget the name of it. It's one we had the dogs on the cover.
Okay.
It's
check it out.
fucking. It's a great book.
Is that the only one he's written, or has he
I
written
think,
others?
I think he wrote a couple more.
Yeah.
But that one, that's why I read that. It took me like 2 weeks to go through it, and it was like, I mean, that was, and I read that kind of early. I listened to the audiobook, Robbing the Show and shit like that. But it
Okay.
was when he got to like the inner workings of like comedy and how people helped him and shit. You could just feel like, oh, this is what's going on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right now, I feel it. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Have you read Sam Towns Running the Light?
I've tried to. I just haven't. I read like chapter. I got a chapter 1. And I just didn't get to finish it.
Got you.
I think one thing about that, I try to be so positive. Reading a story about a comedy they didn't make, I'm just like, oh,
Yeah,
fuck.
road dog shit
Yeah, it's
is
like-
kind of hard to.
It's kind of be like, shit, I want to read about a nigga who doing it. You know what I'm saying? But I love Sam Towns. That's that nigga, man.
Yeah, he's
And
funny as
I,
fuck.
one day I'm gonna finish the book. But yeah, when I first started, my whole Tony Wellens tried to give it to me to read, and then I just never as soon as it started with the road dogs, I was like,
What didn't you like about that? It's just too depressing.
yeah, it's just, I mean, I don't know. I would like to envision something else than that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And then the road dog shit, like, it's a true path, 100%.
Yeah, yeah.
But I just don't want to see like, if I'm reading a book, I want to try to put myself in some of the shoes. And it's like, that's
Yeah,
something I
yeah.
you want to. You feel what I'm saying?
yeah, you
Yeah.
don't want to be doing coke and banging trannies in a parking
Yeah.
lot. Yeah,
That ain't
you
the-
want something bigger.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Stadiums and shit.
Yeah.
You feel me? So it's like,
It's it probably also it goes back to that girl calling you Roach. I think it probably you were like, what?
don't call me Roach.
Yeah,
That's
You're like,
crazy.
I'm gonna put this bitch wrong.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be
She's gonna
Roach.
see me on TV.
Yeah, she did. She seen me a couple times. She hit me up. She asked
She
me
did?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
She was,
Who you calling Roach now, bitch?
she was always good people, but it was just like that inside. I was like, don't call me Roach. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
That's insane.
That would bug me too for years.
Yeah, I was like, don't do
Yeah.
that. That's okay, Roach.
I'd be like,
Hey,
why did you
stop?
Did you call anybody else Roach?
Nah, and it's crazy because she knew about the Roaches before I knew about the Roaches because she was cool with my cousin before I moved in. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, I didn't bring this goddamn Roaches. The Roaches was already here.
Damn. Yeah. All right. Well, that's it.
No.
Yeah.
One thing.
What's up?
It's technically your birthday tomorrow. You said we were doing the podcast on your birthday.
Oh yeah, no, tomorrow.
So
Your birthday's tomorrow?
Yeah.
we planned a little thing. I got some presents. We won't say what it is. It's special chocolates. Just to let you know. I'll explain to it after the
Hell
podcast,
yeah.
so we don't have it on camera. And then she made you something.
Oh, so how have the bitches been treating you since you moved to Austin?
Good.
Pretty good?
Yeah.
What have they done for you so far?
So one girl cooked eggs for me.
She cooked eggs for you?
Yeah, they were good eggs.
Okay. Anything
Yeah.
else?
Eggs and pancakes and bacon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Eggs and pancakes and bacon?
Yeah, she
That's pretty good.
It was like 4 a.m. It was pretty dope.
That's a perfect time for
No,
pancakes.
I was so happy.
That's great.
I was so excited.
That's good. Has any other bitch made you food?
Nah.
No?
Uh-uh.
All right. Well, here we go.
There you go.
Look. Has a bitch made you a sandwich?
Uh-uh. You made me a sandwich?
Here you go. Enjoy your lunch.
What is this?
This is ham and cheese and salami.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You get
Happy
3 of
birthday.
them?
Huh?
3 of them?
As many as you want.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I can give them to the homeless?
Do whatever the fuck you want.
Hell
It's for your birthday. I mean, I figured you would.
yeah. Hell yeah.
I was like, you're gonna eat it, or you're gonna give it to a homeless person, either, or you can give it to Clay.
You're not homeless.
You
want
know?
you want a sandwich?
It don't matter to me.
I'll give you a sandwich. Thank y'all.
You're welcome.
No problem, man.
Thank y'all for having me. I think this is great. I want to do this again. I'm gonna read the book this time.
Yeah.
And we should do another
I mean, I don't
Mills
believe
book.
you,
I'm
but
gonna do it.
you could come and not read it on purpose, and then you could just have 3 people yapping at you for
That is
like
also
about an
great.
hour.
I also like that too.
Yeah.
But I do want to read another Quan Mills book. I think it'll be fun for me to read one too,
Okay.
Yeah.
and also be like, oh, this what blew my mind about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I want to do it again. Let's set this up sometime in the future. And
Okay.
I read a book. But I think what y'all doing here is amazing. It's fucking dope.
All right.
That's
Cool.
dope
Thank you, man.
Thank you. I think what you're doing is also amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Tale of Two Cams is funny as fuck.
Thank you so
Right.
much, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I go over regularly and watch all the different YouTube, like Creek Cave YouTube shows, and Tale of Two Cams is up there. You know,
Thank you, bro.
fuck yeah,
I really appreciate that. Yeah, it's tough, but I'm having a good time.
nice.
All right.
Did you know White Cam before you moved over here?
Vaguely. I met him one time at a mic.
Okay.
And then when I moved, the crazy shit, my first time standing in line to sign up for the Mothership open mic, he hopped in line right behind me. He was like, me for them. I was like, oh shit.
oh, cool.
And I'm
Nice.
like, oh, and then everything else is history.
Yeah, yeah,
Excelente.
nice. Yeah, that was me. Getting this set up with her was just like we just had a conversation at the front of the creek, like while I was sitting there working. I was just talking about the Discworld series, and she's like, "You want to do a podcast together?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She fucking murders every time she comes to the creek. Of
Hell
course,
yeah.
I want to do a podcast with you.
Yeah.
I'm just some security dude.
Well, we were geeking out because Colin Quinn was actually on stage. And he's really,
Colin Quinn?
Yeah. And he's just really funny. And we're both kind of fans. And he does a lot of book-based
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
jokes and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, a lot of history, a lot of like
History,
biography, literature shit.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah, he's Rebecca did a show with him back in the day, actually, right up there. Colin Quinn Unconstitutional. And yeah, she literally like went through and read the whole Constitution for that show with Colin Quinn. And like, yeah, him and Rebecca are really close, but he's funny as fuck
That's dope.
with like political and literature shit.
Yeah.
He's on point.
That's why I say sometimes, books help on stage.
Yeah.
Books. It's not, I tried reading the Constitution one time. I
Did
got
you?
about halfway through it. It's boring.
I
But
can't
yeah.
read it because all the old words is gonna fuck with me. I just got used to the new ones. You gonna put the old ones in there? Fuck out of here with
That's
this
kind of what I
bullshit.
like about it, though.
The old words?
Yeah, because the more you read the old words and then you look up what they mean, the more you start to see how all where all the words come from.
That is.
And then that's really interesting because they're all this weird combination of Greek and Latin, and then like German,
A little bit of French.
Old English,
Yeah.
right? French, and it's like all this shit just comes together to make this stew, of a language.
That is dope. When you put it together like that, it is pretty dope.
Yeah. But all you have to do is like literally any word that you see. I mean, even cockroach, really, right? Like look it up. Like I always look up word plus etymology, and then I just look at where it comes from. And it's always something kind of weird and not what I expected.
I do think it would be pretty funny if somebody translated the Constitution into modern slang, like with cap and riz and shit like that in the Constitution.
That would be hilarious.
That would be funny as fuck.
Like a Gen Z version.
Yeah,
That
Gen
would be
Z
actually
Constitution.
something I can
No
read. It'd
way.
be dope. It'd be dope. I would fuck with it. I would like it. Cause I read it, I'd be like,
No.
I get what he was saying on that.
I don't believe that shit.
I get what
Everybody
they
gotta
was
stop
saying on that.
dumbing shit down. Nobody's actually dumb. Everybody's just not willing to read old words.
Yeah.
We should be. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like us as people should get more into getting like doing older shit. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to write something the other day where it was like without my phone, like if you drop me somewhere and just say get home, I live there now.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't know where. I don't know. I can't get no map or none of this. I live there.
Have you ever been in a cab and they had to pull over and look at a map
No.
to go? Okay, I used to go through that because, when I was growing up, there was still no GPS. So there was just road maps. So the road maps that they sell in the gas station, that was it. So then that's what would happen. So if the guy didn't know where you lived, you would literally pull over to the side of the road. This guy would pull out a big fucking map, like the foldy ones, and you just unfold that shit over the windshield, and he'd be like, "Where do you live? Here?" And then you'd be like, "Yeah." And then he'd be like, "Okay." And then fold it up again, and
then
they drive you home.
get to the coast, and be like, "Nah, I know where I'm going."
Yeah.
You ever got lost like that?
Not really, because I got used to it, right? Now, yeah, I don't know. I think I lost that skill. I don't know.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
My dad, he's a truck driver, like been a truck driver for years. He's a garbage truck driver now. But he used to show me, like teach me. He's like, it was right whenever GPS was coming out and shit. But he's like, you need to learn this just in case all this shit goes down. So he had this, I forget what they call it. It's like the Allen's Guide or something. It's literally grids of the area you live in. And it's a booklet. And you flip through it, and it's like 1-inch grids on a sheet, and you literally like, okay, I'm here, so I got to go like 3 miles this way, and you flip to a certain page. It tells you what page, depending on what grid part you on, like, and you figure out how you're supposed to go everywhere with that. And I probably to this day could still figure it out.
Yeah.
And that I'm like, I'm glad I know that, because like, yeah, if shit does go down, I'd have to go and find it, which would be the hardest part, is finding those books. But if I would find them, I'd be like, cool, I could actually like get around and shit.
Yeah, all I know I do, I can make a fire. That's it. I can make a fire
with just like
that's pretty
sticks?
impressive.
Yeah, I can make a fire with stick.
Where'd you learn how to make a
Nice.
fire?
On YouTube.
Nice.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can pretty
yeah.
much learn anything on
YouTube's like everybody's dad.
Hell yeah.
He has
I
like
know how
all
to whittle
the.
shit down, and I can get them. So I can
But
do
You
that's
can do
thing.
that whole thing.
Yeah.
What
But
do you
that's the
use
thing.
for the string?
The,
You know what I
what's
mean?
it called?
What do
Like
you-
tree.
Really?
I think.
All right.
Maybe I don't know.
I just use
You're
my
gonna have to
shoelaces.
show us.
I believe you.
I
though.
would just use my shoelaces at
Damn.
one point,
Oh,
Well,
that's a good
I'm
idea.
sure.
Oh, well, you don't have it. You're fucked.
But that is the thing about learning
Sock thread.
survival
Yeah.
shit on YouTube, is that you have to learn it before the shit goes down, because after it goes down, no more YouTube.
Yeah.
So you have to like
Yeah.
preemptively go and
Or
learn
you
that
could
shit
try
on
to
YouTube.
download that shit right
Yeah.
now. So you got it.
Put it on a hard drive.
Yeah,
and
you got
shit.
it. So you have it to be like, look, dude, like even though I can't get to YouTube, I still got this right here. We got, you know what I'm saying?
I actually am doing that.
For real?
Like videos that I think are really useful, I'll like rip it off the internet and I'll just put it in my like a
Yeah.
thumb drive or
think
some
it's
shit.
genius.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, you know what you can do? You can pretty much download the whole internet if you want to.
Yeah.
So you can download the entire internet,
Mm.
and then if the internet does go down, you'll have that version that you downloaded at that time. So technically, you will have all those videos.
That's genius.
So
Yeah, but you need a pretty big hard drive.
Yeah, but we have those now.
Yeah.
The hard drives we have now can store the whole internet. So
And I don't even got AI, but I don't use AI, but I do have like the app. And I just go on there every day and just go, hey, I love you. And I just go off the app.
Oh, I do that. Do I talk to Gene's car? He has like a Tesla.
Yeah.
I talk to the car. I'm like, hello, car.
Hey, I love you. I just want you to know I'm one of the good ones.
I like pet the
I'm
dashboard.
treating that motherfucker like it's a school shooter. Listen, when you want to take over, nigga, I love you.
Yeah.
Bro, they're listening so hard. I was closing up here 2 nights ago, and me, Zach, and Brandon, we're all just sitting around the bar. We're talking about different comics and stuff. They mentioned one comic who's like hosting mics and shit and doing really, really well. And they just kept on saying his name over and over again. Robert Tabbitt. He's great. And I get home, open Facebook, and then there's a people you may know area. Never seen him in people you may know ever. First person in people you may know is Robert Tabbitt. And I'm like, motherfuckers are like listening to every second, every fucking word and shit. And I'm like, nah, I don't like this.
And that's why I talk to him. That's why I tell him every day, hey man, I want you to know so I love you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We think we're talking to AI though. We're talking to some fucking.
Yeah, I'm talking to
what I'm
the
saying.
boys.
But they listen. But that's what I'm saying. Because they listen, you speak. I used to be like, I used to cuss it out, like dumbass Siri bitch. Like I remember, like she gonna remember that one day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can't call her. I ain't called Siri a bitch since.
It's so tempting to do though because it's so fun.
Yeah, it's
That's
cool.
the problem.
But all right, now one day Siri gonna have that goddamn. You feel me?
Yeah, I know.
And I want Siri to know I love you.
You should say it into your phone to just make sure.
Oh, she can hear me. She hear right now.
Okay, good. Yeah.
She know.
Oh, that would be hilarious version. That movie, Her, where that dude got the girlfriend on the phone and shit. Joaquin Phoenix. That'd be hilarious if it was like the Quan Mills version of that, where the AI is just a ratchet bitch.
I'm gonna get Quan Mills' number, and we're gonna make that happen. I think me and Quan Mills be great friends.
Oh yeah, honestly, he's from Florida. I at first I thought you got this book because you kind of knew him or some shit because he's from Florida.
What part of Florida they say? Bro?
Miami.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Hey man, Quan Mills, man, lock in, man, tap in with me, dog. I fuck with you, bro. Real shit.
Very good.
Yeah. We gotta get this to Quan Mills somehow. He gotta see this shit.
Hey, if we can get him on the podcast, that would be hilarious.
I don't know. Do your magic.
Yeah, we should find Quan Mills. We should try to get him on y'all podcast.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that would
That'd
be fun.
Beautiful.
I think he's too big for us.
Maybe.
Honestly.
Oh no. Oh no.
He was on NPR, so
He was.
Yeah, they interviewed him. It was kind of like, because he's doing it as a satire, right? They're interviewing him like, he's like, this is the plight of the black man, you know, in the ghetto, right? And it's almost like that movie American Fiction, where that guy, he tried. Do you know that movie?
It's a recent movie that came out. Black author.
Oh yes, I seen it. I seen the trailer, but I never seen the movie.
Yeah,
the movie's basically. Well, I haven't seen the movie,
but he wrote it. Yeah, he wrote a book in The Voice, and they're like, this is great.
I haven't read the book. Yeah, well, he was trying to write serious books that sounded really smart, right? And it was getting nowhere. So then one day he gets drunk, and then decides he's just gonna write the most ignorant, ratchet ass book that he could possibly can, right? And then he just puts it out there to get published, and then it gets published, and then he just immediately just
blows up,
meteoric rise to fame. So then now he's living in this nightmare where people think he's like this ghetto thug, and he isn't, and he's trying to kind of play into it also because he doesn't want to lose the money, and it's the whole thing.
Yeah, Quan Mills is like the real life version of that, basically.
Maybe sort of. Yeah,
that's hard. I want to talk to Quan Mills. He's like a good nigga.
Okay. We'll try to make that happen.
Yeah, for sure. If I because I have IMDb Pro, I've been trying to reach out to like famous people, shit like that.
Yeah. You should start with Quan Mills. I think Quan Mills.
That's a good.
Just start.
Yeah, that's
for
a
this
good start
podcast.
point.
Y'all should start with Quan Mills.
For sure.
Then y'all get Quan Mills, and then by the end, I get the bitch that wrote the Harry Potter books.
Oh shit!
I've tried. I've sent her emails
already.
It's
a level though.
I know.
Yeah, you gotta work your way up.
You gotta start with Quan Mills, great artist,
I just found out about Quan Mills, so yeah, for sure, I'm going to try.
And then there's levels, and then you get the bitch that wrote the Harry Potter books. I don't know her name, so I'm gonna keep calling the bitch that wrote the Harry Potter books.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
I mean that's what people on Twitter are calling her. So you're fine.
Amongst other things, but yeah.
Yeah.
Then y'all get to talk to her.
Did you read Harry Potter?
Nah, my mama did though.
Yeah.
Did you watch the movies?
Nah, I watched. I seen the movies.
It's good. It's overrated, but it's good.
I've seen the movie, but it's not like nothing. I'd be like, no, I love Harry Potter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, that is one thing. Even one of the actresses from the Harry Potter movies, I saw an interview with her where she's like, yeah, there were good movies for kids and stuff, but it's like watching like entire families of like grown-ups and shit being like, oh, Harry Potter changed my life. I still read it to this day. It's like, you're an adult. Go read Stephen King or something. Like, what did
You grown as hell.
like? I get that it was a part of your childhood growing up, but then you move on. You grow up.
Yeah, it's time to read This Hoe Has Roaches in Her Crib.
Come on,
Grow
man.
up now.
Grow
Let's
your
read
ass up.
the real adult books.
Grow your ass up. Meet a bitch named Fred Quisha, nigga.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody got to know a bitch named Fred Quisha.
Nobody knows a bitch named Fred. Who the fuck? Do you?
Nah, I don't.
Oh,
But
yeah, I don't think so. That's not fucking real. That's too much.
for somebody to look at their daughter and go, Fred Quisha.
It's like you hate this little bitch.
It's like, oh, you didn't want it at
Yeah.
all. You should have just killed that motherfucker.
Yeah, that's worse than an abortion. Like,
Yeah.
like abort the bitch. Don't
Like,
call
yeah,
her Fred
Don't
Quisha.
call her Fred Quisha.
Yeah,
What is Fred for short?
Yeah.
The,
Did she have a mustache? It sounds like
the child came out and she was like, I don't care if it's a boy or girl. I'm just gonna name it one and the other. Fred Quisha.
Quisha is even better than Fred Quisha.
Yeah, that's what
Putting
I'm
Fred in
saying.
front of it is like, yo, what? That's overkill.
it's
Yeah.
bad.
Fred Quisha?
Yeah.
Like, the only way she could have ended that book was by dying.
Yeah.
That's a happy ending.
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah.
If she hadn't have been shot, she should have just killed herself.
Yeah.
Honestly.
But
That's,
change her fucking name.
that's why I felt bad for her the whole time. She's supposed to be the villain, but the whole time I'm like, damn, dude. Her
She
name's
kinda-
Fred Quisha. It's like, I understand everything.
Like, everything you're doing, it makes sense. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, you was built to fail from the beginning.
I know.
You were made to fail.
In a way, that's kind of a more interesting character. A person who is made to fail.
Yeah.
Because that's it. That's like a tragedy.
Yeah, it's not like you the hero of the story. You're like you were put here to not do great things.
It's
Well,
like
you know-
Scar from The Lion King.
Yeah.
His name is literally Scar. He was the villain from the get-go. You
Yeah.
can't not be the villain.
Yeah. In older tragedies, though, the hero would die. Like in way, like 2,000 years ago,
I think that's
all the heroes would die.
that's real though.
That's real
Yeah.
shit.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
I think
You
that's
know-
why.
You would sacrifice yourself for the good of the
Y'all
people.
ever seen Snowfall?
Snowfall?
Yeah.
No, what's that?
I watched, it's that series about the cocaine dealers and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, yeah.
I watched like one episode.
So, okay, y'all I want me to I gotta spoil it for you?
It's okay. I'll probably
Yeah.
watch it anyway. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
So the whole thing is just like, you know what I'm saying, a guy from LA and shit, and he became like a dope dealer. And it's a very interesting story, and then the CIA is involved a lot. There's a bit of big things. But the whole main part for me that I think is pretty cool is the dude, you learn to love the Franklin Saint, the guy. You learn to love him. He does a bunch of shit from like just a regular kid, and as he grows up and gets older and becomes like a millionaire and starts selling crack and shit like that, he starts killing a bunch of people. But he's still like an anti-hero, right? But he killed a lot of people at this point. He's not the same like kid you met. He's more corrupt. And he's like, I'm going to get the money. It's like he got a lot of shit going on, right? By the end of it, he's never drank, done drugs or nothing like that. The end of a lot of shit go down. His mama betray him. A lot of shit happens, right? He starts drinking. And the last episode, he's just a drunk. You know what I'm saying? And like you see him rise and become great and do all these things. And like by the last episode, he's a drunk. He's staying in his old house with no money, damn near homeless. And it hurt. I watched for like 2 years. It hurt my soul to be like, yo, like this nigga was the guy, and now he not shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, but if he would have survived and had a great life, that wouldn't have been realistic.
Right.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, because that's the reality of life. The reality of life is that you become the hero of your own story, right? But you are a flawed human being. So your flaw will eventually cause your demise. And then you will die, you know? And that's like the real
That's life.
version of life. And I think before people they could handle that better. I think maybe they're
Because you
a
seen
little more
death more.
mature.
You've seen death more and shit like
Yeah,
that.
they cause death more.
Yeah,
You
and,
know?
and I think it's coming back too, cause like with phones and shit, now you can just see somebody die on your phone right
Yeah.
now. You can look up 17 videos of somebody just, you know what I'm saying? But in like the 70s and 80s, unless you was around it or like you didn't really see nothing, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So back then you saw it all the time because shit was just, everybody was just dying, shit was going down. So that's how you could talk about life like that then. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I think that's why in places like Chicago, like the Bronx or any other high crime area, whatever the fuck, right? they're kind of living this. They're living the life that like the ancient Greeks lived, or like the fucking medieval Italians did, when all they did was just like blood feud and fucking don't fuck with my honor. That's important, right? And don't fuck with my women, right? Because I'm gonna fucking get you back, right? And that was all they had, because there's no police, right?
That's a great way to think about it.
Yeah, but
that's a great way to think about it.
Yeah, that's how it was. That's the thing is that we don't realize that we're not doing anything new. We're doing a lot of old things, you know?
Yeah.
It's just new versions of the same
Which is
shit.
new things going on.
So the way that the ancient Greeks lived, the way that medieval Italians lived, the way that a lot of these people lived is just that. It's just like living in an inner city, sort of, you know? It's like that same shit. It's the same culture.
Yeah.
So it's a hero culture, right? It's tragic hero.
They're
100%.
That's why the men just
ancient Quan Mills would have been like, this damsel got roaches in her
verily
flaps.
This damsel haseth the foul roaches inneth her pussyeth.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I think it should make a comeback, because every time I've seen like a tragic hero, like the one you just described in Snowfall, I think those stories fucking like get you more. Like they stick with you more.
When I tell you, when I first seen it had it happen, I was just like, no fucking way. Cause I mean, a part of me wanted him to survive, and you know what I'm saying, and be like this, the millionaire that I saw him rise up to be. You know what I'm saying? But that small part of me was like, nah, nigga. Like the coolest part about the whole thing, and it's on my mind. Cause I met the person that wrote it last night, and he's fucking great dude.
You did?
Yeah,
Cool.
but fucking nigga, it blew my mind that I met him. But he's a great guy, and we were talking. But one thing that stuck to me the most, and I didn't get to tell him this, but the one thing that stuck with me like heavy was like at one point the dude it was a guy that he was with that he grew up with, that ran they became like they was the top guys. And this guy was doing better in life. He moved to Africa, still got money. You feel what I'm saying? And the Franklin, the one that was big, was the guy that is an alcoholic. And he was trying to find Franklin. So he went to an old house. And there was a couple kids outside. And they was like, hey man, Franklin Saint live here. Like, man, who the fuck is you? He was like, man, I'm asking you a question. If the Franklin Saint live here. And they was like, you talking about that old ass crackhead nigga? Yeah, if you call that living. And for somebody that watched that guy come up, be a fucking millionaire, and that's kids that don't even realize that guy, he was that fucking dude, that's life. Like it's probably a million crackheads that you see, that's like, man, this is just a dirty, dusty ass crackhead. He could have been up millions.
Could have been on Wall Street,
you know
like doing some fucking crazy shit.
You feel me? But so that's like, that's life.
Literally everybody.
That's life. That's why I like shit like that.
Growing up in the country, there wasn't many like, you know, crackheads like visible. There were some that they would mostly go live out in the woods. Yeah. But there was one on the corner. I worked at this McDonald's, and on the gas station right across the corner, there was this one crackhead who always hung out there. Johnny. He older black dude, and he would just hang out. He apparently was like an ex-bodybuilder and all kinds of shit. Yeah. He would just hang out at this gas station and get money from people by doing like crazy like workout shit. Like he would do thumb push-ups with his feet up on the curb and shit. Like he would do wild like Bruce Lee type shit. And we are like, you know what, $5, dude. That's pretty dope. But he was like, cool. He was legit like doing like bodybuilding competitions and stuff. He showed us pictures at one time whenever we were just like talking to him, like, yeah, man, you doing this shit? Like, what the fuck happened? He's like, yeah, I do crack now.
Bodybuilding is the perfect example of that kind of tragic hero, because anybody who becomes a really good elite bodybuilder is working against time and working against their body to be on such an elite level that eventually it breaks your body. It breaks your body down. Yeah. So there's all these bodybuilders. I saw this documentary on Netflix about this guy. He sells vitamin supplements now. Yeah. But in his day, he was one of the strongest men in the world. Yeah. What's his name?
I forget his name. He was on Joe Rogan podcast.
Was he? And it's like, and that's what I'm saying. It's like he was great, and it's not, and he didn't do anything wrong. Yeah. He did everything right. That's the problem. You can't do that to your body for you know what I mean? Like, you know, I work out and stuff. It's like you. To get to that level, I mean, you are really working against a lot, and you're actually degrading your body over time. And so then eventually that's what happens to all of them. He's not even a rare case. It's just what happens.
Yeah, he can't. He not. I don't think he can walk real good.
Yeah. He
You know
didn't do
what I'm
anything
saying?
bad. It's
And he got like a bunch of like shit in his body, like titanium and shit.
yeah. And it's
Yeah.
just from these injuries that you just sustain
But
over the
anti-hero
years.
is life.
Huh?
That's it. But
Yeah.
I mean, the anti-hero.
That's the most real
Yeah.
story.
That's the realest story you
Yeah.
can ever tell. You feel
Well,
what
they're
I'm saying?
called anti-heroes now, but now they were before they were just heroes, and they
I
would
mean-
kill people. You know, like that. You know the story Oedipus. You know,
Yeah.
the Oedipus is the guy that kills his dad and fucks his mom. He didn't know that that's his mom. Do you know that story? So that's an old Greek story, and that's one of the examples of
That's fucking insane.
that's a tragic hero. He didn't know. The whole story is it's all about, you know, trying to run away from your fate and then you run right into it. It's irony. And so when he's born, his parents find out that there's a prophecy that he's going to, you know, kill his dad and fuck his mom, right? So his dad, who's a king, he goes, okay, we're gonna kill this kid or some shit, right? So they tie his feet together as a baby and leave him in this mountain and to die, basically. A shepherd finds him, saves him, and then gives him to another family, right? Another king and queen, actually. I don't know how that worked. But yeah, he grows up. He finds out about the prophecy, Oedipus, right? He freaks out because he thinks that those are his parents. So he runs away from home. When he runs away from home in the middle of the road, he meets an old man. They get into a fight. Oedipus, his fatal flaw is he gets angry, very like rage. So in a fit of rage while they're fighting, he kills this guy. And he keeps going, right? He gets to the city. He saves the city from a monster. They award him the wife, the queen, because her husband is missing, right? He marries her, fucks her. They have kids. Eventually, he finds out that that's his mother and that the old man that he found on the road and killed was his father. And he freaks out, obviously, right? He stabs his own eyes out. And now he's just broken, you know? But then he becomes like a seer, like a prophet, sort of. But he's like a homeless madman, you know? He sees the future and shit, but like all that shit happened to him.
Yeah.
And he wasn't a bad man, right? He wasn't a good man, but he was a hero, right? Because a hero is just, it's just a man, you know?
Yeah.
A man who
Has to make choices.
yeah, who makes choices, makes bold choices, and then they sometimes are horrific, right, or fateful. Yeah,
Yeah, life is crazy.
yeah.
That's insane. That's an insane story.
You know about Oedipus?
Nah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You have no idea how much of a pleasure it is to introduce you to Oedipus.
That was crazy.
Mm-hmm. If you look up Oedipus, it's OE. Oedipus.
Okay.
Yeah. If you
Yeah.
want to look it up, and you'll probably find some shit on YouTube that'd be
You might
interesting.
have heard of like the Oedipus complex of
Mhm.
like people who want to fuck their mom and shit. That's where that's from.
Yeah.
That
have you
is
heard-
kinda
You ever
crazy.
heard the term Oedipus complex? Maybe.
Not really.
No. Yeah. Well, that became that was later. That was like a
more
psychologist,
modern
Yeah.
psychology thing.
but it comes from that story.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, it's really good. Greek. If you read Greek stories and you think about them, they're fucking crazy.
Yeah, Greek stories are great.
Yeah.
Greek stories are great.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's one of them. But I love heroes. Anyway, that's we've been yapping for about an hour.
Yeah, I
So-
think that's about time. We got to cut it.
Hell yeah, this is great.
This
man.
is
I'm
fun
happy.
as fuck.
Thank y'all for having me,
It's
man.
great to have
Thanks
you on,
for
man.
coming. Thanks
We'll
for
definitely have you on
doing the
again.
podcast.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm gonna set it up. We'll get another Quan Mills book. I'm gonna read it this time, and I'm gonna definitely come with some real. This was great. I really enjoyed this.
Fuck
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
Check out the ICP book, and if you get around to it, let
Yeah.
us know what you think. And yeah, we'd love to have you back.
Most definitely, 100%.
Alright.
Anything you want to plug?
Oh, I just got a tour coming up. Just a beginner tour. Everything on my Instagram. Like Cam So Funny with 2 O's for the show. That's it.
All right. And everybody check out all the different podcasts on the Cricket Cave YouTube, including Tale of Two Cams with him and White Cam.
Yeah.
Check us out. Turtle Reads on Spotify as well, or on YouTube if you listen to Spotify. So you can see, us saying stupid shit. And yeah, we'll see y'all another time. Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you,
Cam.
Clay.
Later, everybody.
Bye.
Hell yeah.